Well, thank you for tuning in today. We have another episode of Prison Bosses, and this is the podcast where we talk to people who were formerly incarcerated and learn how they were able to groom themselves and grow themselves into the space that they're in today. And today I have with me very special guest. This is a brother I met some time back we did a conference in Texas, the Truck and Hustle conference together. I had the opportunity to share the stage with this brother. And when he went on, man, he wowed me just like he wowed everybody else in the crowd. And so one thing that stuck with me from this brother was the fact how he had 10 felonies and how he was able to come through that. And today I remember talking with his wife, who's also a part of their power couple, and they mentioned how many people they turned into millionaires. And I was just so inspired by that. I went home and literally put that on my list, my goals list of how many people I'm gonna turn into millionaires.
Absolutely.
And so this good brother, I mean, he really don't need no introduction, but I got to do him some justice and just let it be known. Today we're going to be talking with the one and only Coach Sheldon. He's going to be talking a little bit. He started his trucking and logistics business, and today here we are with him. He does coaching, mentoring, has the ebooks out, partnerships with some of the biggest corporations in the world, and his company, YAEL Transports, based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And so it's with great pride that I introduced the Coach Sheldon.
What's up, everybody? I'm Coach Sheldon. I'm out of Atlanta, Georgia, and everything he said about me is true. I'm a person that got 10 felonies and a person that been to prison twice. Went to prison. The last time I went to prison, I was at the age of 46 years old. I got out at 55. I did 8.5 years. So that's
Mm.
why I try to tell people and motivate people. Ain't no way you should let a 55-year-old man out hustle you. You know what I'm saying? So if I can get out at 55 and keep my hope alive and keep my dream alive and fight for my hope, because we all know that prison is designed to rob you and steal your hope. And I
Talk about it.
refuse to let prison steal my hope and steal
Mm-hmm.
my visions and my dreams. And, not to get too spiritual on everybody, but I am a minister. But God said he'll turn all things to the good for those
Mm-hmm.
that loved him. So even
Talk
though I
about
was
it.
in a bad place, he turned it to the good because I learned trucking in prison. That's where I
Mm.
learned trucking at. So I learned it in prison, man, and came out and worked for a company called Seven Up, pushing sodas into Quick Trip, and they was
Mm.
paying me $1,200 a week to do that. I was like, I'm 55 years old, man. I can't push no 400 cases, no 500 cases of no soda. So then I went to USA Concrete. I used to drive the concrete truck, and then a friend of
Mm.
mine say, "Man, get you a cargo van, and you can haul freight in a cargo van." I was like, "A cargo van?" And then I started researching it and found out that you can move freight in a
Yep.
cargo van. So I went out there, bought me a $1,500 cargo van, leaking oil, smoking in the back, and I started making $1,000 a week at like 32 hours. And
Mm.
7 months later, I bought my first box truck and made 10,000, and the rest is
Mm.
history.
Talk that. Man, look at that journey. I love it. And so, Coach, staying in that same vein, what do you think was the key turning point in your life that made you want to have that transition?
Man, I had got tired of. Well, first of all, I was always a working man,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I was always a man that wanted success any means necessary.
Talk about it.
So even though I worked, I would still be hustling on the side and doing little things. And I was in the car business as a salesman. I was a top salesman. I was either I was either the top salesman, or I was in the top three, or I was in the top five. I used to do like
Mm.
20 cars a month, 25 cars a month. Used to make about $10,000, $12,000 a month. Uh, and I got tired of doing it. I did it for 20 years, and then I went to hustling full
Mm.
time. And I kept going in and out of jail, in and out of jail, till one time God said, "Okay, you ain't gonna listen to me. I'm trying to give you the signs right now. You going to jail, you staying 2 weeks. You going to jail, you staying a month. You going to jail, you staying 3 months. You going to jail, you staying 6 months. So you still ain't learned your lesson, huh? So I'm gonna sit you down. The first time he set me down for 2 years. I did 14 months on 2 years. And then the first time, and then the second time, he set me down for 8.5 years.
Mm, mm. Man, 8.5 years is no joke, but I'm happy that you found that transition, and I know there's a lot of people out here who wouldn't be where they are without you today. So I know they appreciate and feel the same way. And
Absolutely.
so, can you describe a little bit of some of the obstacles that you encountered and how you overcame them during your path to success?
Um, I think yeah, right with them trucks at right there. The biggest thing is mindset, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
mindset. When you come from the type of place that we come from, and you in jail, a lot of people are trying to perfect wrongdoing.
Talk about it.
So,
Yep.
my man, appreciate you, brother. Hopefully, I see you again. Of course, man. Y'all excuse me, man. A lot of people are trying to perfect wrongdoing. And can you see me? Because I just jumped out of the car. Is it too much sun?
Nah, I see you. I see you. You
Okay.
good?
A lot of people are trying to perfect wrongdoing. A lot of people are trying to perfect wrongdoing. And when you in prison, you have a choice to go left or go right.
That's right.
And so it's a lot of people trying to perfect wrongdoing. So they
Mm-hmm.
hanging with the people that
Mm-hmm.
plan on getting out to do wrongdoing. Well, I was
That's
the
right.
opposite. I hung around people that was trying to get their life together and do the right
Mm,
thing. So it was a
mm.
mindset change. I had to change
That's
my
right.
mindset. And a lot
That's
of
right.
us don't understand what I try to tell people. If you can plant if you can put together a plan to rob somebody, you can put together a plan to run a business.
Talk that.
If you was selling dope and you was in bagging up dope and giving it to runners, you was already a CEO. You just dealing with a
Talk
wrong
about it.
illegal product.
That's
So,
right. Yep.
it's mindset. It's like a lot of us don't understand that some of the most intelligent and most creative people are in prison, but
Yes, indeed. Yes,
they
indeed.
don't understand it's between the ears.
Mm.
And when we stop trying to live in a microwave society, when you're trying to obtain success quickly and just do it
Yep.
the slow way and do it the grinding way and do it God's
Yep.
way, he gonna
Talk
bless
it.
you. He gonna
You
bless
ain't
you.
lying, bro. You ain't lying. That's some real talk right there. And
And
I
that's
mean,
where
that's the
things
reality. It's a
change.
mindset shift. That's right. That's right. I love that,
Mindset
brother.
shift.
And so staying in that same vein, what sort of things were you doing for self improvement? Because I know you had a mindset shift, but I know it came with self improvement in some way. So what are some things? How did you improve yourself as you were transitioning?
Well, you got to remember, I think I mentioned it at the beginning, I'm a minister. So when I was in prison,
Mm,
all I did was study the Bible and I stayed up under the
mm,
chaplain. So
mm.
I remember that the counselor called me into the office one day and he said, your security has dropped. You can transfer to a lower security. So I was by the way, I was in the feds where they really got
Gotcha.
money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They really
Right.
got
Right.
money, you know. So
Yep.
you around people that was smuggling guns, smuggling dope.
Mm,
FBI agents then got caught. Jacob
mm.
the jeweler. I was in prison with Jacob the jeweler.
Sheesh.
You know what I'm saying? So when he told me that my security had dropped, I was in Alabama and I put in a transfer to go to Atlanta. But
Hmm.
God sent me to Lexington, Kentucky.
Mm.
So he sent me further out. And the reason why I said
Mm.
God did that is because when I went to Lexington, Kentucky, I met the chaplain, and the chaplain had a minister study group of
Mm.
25 people. And one of the 25 people was a judge. And we would have
Mm.
to, every Saturday, we would go and it would be different people's turn to preach in front of the 25. And then when the
Mm.
chaplain deemed you ready, he would let you preach on Friday night in front of 200 men.
Sheesh.
So that's where the ministry part was in training the whole
Mm-hmm.
time. And then once my
Mm-hmm.
security went down again, I went to a camp where they didn't have a fence around. You know, that you got a
Mm.
high, you got a medium, you got a low, and you got a camp. I started out
Right.
at a medium, went to a low, then I went to a camp where it wasn't a fence. So you had more
Mm.
freedom. So I started teaching
Yep.
Bible study, Bible study. So that's where my mind shift changed at. I started the word of God.
That's That's it. That's it. Now, coach, like you said, I'm not gonna get too spiritual, but I believe that in the higher power, and I believe that our higher power guides us. And speaking of what you said, I love how it was you were being placed in situations that were meant for you to be better, even when when you got shipped further. That's just all mindset, and it comes down to faith. And I know a God fearing man like yourself has to lean in the faith. Can you speak to the people about how important faith is as you're building and changing yourself?
Absolutely, absolutely. For me, faith is everything, man. And you
Mm-hmm.
can and you can translate faith from the spiritual, and you can translate
Mm-hmm.
faith to the natural. So
Talk
as
it.
even if you're not a person that's walking with God, you got to have faith in yourself to accomplish
Mm.
the goals that you want to accomplish. So you know what I'm
Talk
saying?
that.
And part of that
Yep.
faith is being around like-minded people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So even
Yes,
if
sir.
you don't have what you want right now, start hanging around the people that got what you want and start
Mm.
feeding off them and piggybacking off them. Look,
Yep.
one
Yep.
thing that some of the coaches that I done paid a lot of money for, you never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Talk it.
And you never want
Yep.
to be the one talking the most. You want to be the one listening
Mm.
the most. So
Mm.
you get around people that got more knowledge than you,
Yep.
and you'll find somebody that you won't even realize it, but somebody will be watching you
Yes.
and want to help you based off them
Yes.
watching you. And
Yes,
you may
indeed.
not have nothing but an idea, but
Mm-hmm.
because of your desire to change, your desire to be around like-minded people, people will give you an opportunity, even when you ain't
You
got
ain't
one dime.
you ain't lying. You hey one of my coaches or mentors told me a long time ago. You know, you stand outside of a barber shop long enough, you're gonna get a cut, and your net
You're gonna
worth
get cut.
is going to always be a reflection of your net worth. And I mean, your net
Absolutely.
worth is always going to be a reflection of your network. And so, I agree with you, brother. Like that's a big essential part of things. And so, one thing I just thinking about, we didn't really tell the people what you do, like about your business and what you specialize in. You mind deep diving into that a little bit, telling the people about what you do, your organization, and how you're changing lives?
Absolutely, absolutely. So you heard the first part about the cargo van transitioning to the box truck. So I started my
Mm-hmm.
trucking company first. So
Mm.
and this is a great example how you can take something within yourself and turn it into millions. So I started my
Mm.
trucking company first. So when I started my trucking first, remember I said I started with a cargo van, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the
Yep.
cargo van, the box truck, and the semi, often they go to the same place. It's just that the
Right.
semi and the box truck back up to the dock, but the cargo van
Mm-hmm.
backs up to the ramp to get its freight. So as I'm
Mm.
in these places picking up freight, I would ask my people, and I hate to say it like
Mm-hmm.
this, but this the truth. I would ask my
Is what
people,
it is.
hey man, how you buy that box truck? How you getting freight for that box truck? What's a good box truck to buy? And my people didn't want to
Mm.
help me. They didn't they
Mm.
wanted to hold on to the knowledge. And one
The
day I
word.
went home, I was extremely pissed off, and I got on my knees and I told God, I said, God, I will never ever be like that. And when I
Mm.
got up, I taught 3 people that came out of prison how to start their box truck company, and I taught 2 people that I went to CDL school with how to start their box truck company. And then my
Mm.
wife said, let's do a seminar around our kitchen table, March of 2018 for $25, and coaching was $300. That was March of 2018. We did it for a year. We was making about $4,000 a month. We didn't understand social media, so we hired a social media coach. And then once we
Mm-hmm.
hired a social media coach, the next year we did 350,000. The year after that we did 1.5 million. The year after that we
Okay.
did 1.8 million, and and
Uh.
um, and we done turned 700 people into entrepreneurs in the box truck,
Hey,
cargo van, sprinter van lane, and we created 4 millionaires.
let's fucking go. Let's go. Talk that talk, coach. Let's go. Oh, now that's impact. That's changing lives. And yo, if the listeners, if you didn't catch anything, know that what he said is don't be a gatekeeper. Don't just hold information. Don't hoarder information. If you got the opportunity to share your information with others, share it. Another thing one of my mentors told me is you got 2 hands, and God is gonna bless you, or your higher power is gonna bless you. But he can only fill 2 hands up. So once you get some blessings, you need to dump those blessings down and give it to others, so then you could prepare yourself for future blessings. But way too many people
Absolutely.
hold both hands full, and they don't want to give out them blessings. So pass along that knowledge, pass along them blessings, and I guarantee you got more coming your way.
And let me piggyback on that. Most people want to keep their hands closed. So if you keep your
Mm,
hands closed, can't nothing go in, can't nothing come out. When you keep your hands
talk it.
open, everything flows through your hands. And that's why
Mm,
your higher power talks about the overflow. The overflow is not
mm,
yours anyway. The overflow is for somebody
talk
else
it.
for you to bless. So every time that you sow a
That's right.
seed to bless somebody, God gonna turn around and bless you. So don't never think that
Mm,
when you give somebody something, they owe you something. Just do it out of the kindness of your heart. Your higher power is watching
talk.
you, and He gonna bless you, baby.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Shoot, that's right. Man. So coach, looking back now, and we're gonna have a lot of youth listening to this. We're gonna have a lot of younger gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen listening to this. What's some advice, or what's one key advice that you would give the younger coach before you ever got in any trouble? What would you tell yourself, knowing all that you know today, to avoid all of the hurdles that you might have had?
Wow, that's a great question. So the first thing I would say, and a lot of men probably gonna cringe, but if I knew
Mm.
the value of a wife, I would have got married a long time ago.
Ooh,
I would have
talk
got
that.
I would have got married a long time ago, because
Mm-hmm.
when the higher power said He created a woman for you, trust me, it's a purpose for that. And the right woman, if you can make 100,000 with the right woman, you can make 300,000, because
Talk it.
she's that important. Uh, uh,
That's right.
she's that important. Now, of course, you got to pick the right one, because on the
Right,
flip
right.
side of that, the wrong one, she can drain you too. So,
That's
but
right.
but if
That's
I
right.
had to teach any of the young people, that would be number one: find you a wife, a good wife. Number two would be
Mm-hmm.
stop telling everybody your dreams and your vision, because they will talk you out
Ooh.
of it.
Ooh.
And some of the closest
Ooh. That's
people
a good one.
will talk you out of your dream and your vision. And some of those people are your mama, your
Mm-hmm.
father, your brother, and your sister. Boy, you can't do that.
Talk about it.
You can't do that.
Yes.
Get you a job and work 30 years and get a pension
Mm-hmm.
and get all of that. But you got the dream that God gave you. He didn't give it to
Talk
them.
about it.
He didn't give it to
Yes.
them. He gave it to you. And
Mm-hmm.
look, watch this. You can't tell a big dream to a small-minded person.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
How you gonna tell
That's
a
a
big
fact.
dream to a small-minded person? They'll never comprehend it. And the reason
Never.
why they'll never comprehend it, because the dream is yours. It's not theirs.
Talk it. Talk it. Mm. Mm. So peep that, y'all. Two essential things, and I couldn't agree more. Your partner is gonna either elevate you or they're gonna pull you down. But it is important to have a good partner. You can't do it alone. No one's done it by themselves. No one's been successful on an island alone. Two, that vision that you got, it's there for a reason. And like Coach said, you don't got to share with everyone because everyone won't get it. But if it's in your brain, it's there for a reason, and that means you can accomplish it. Won't be easy necessarily to accomplish it, but you are the right person to accomplish it because it's in your mind. All you got to do is go out there and execute. So that's some real fire stuff right there, Coach.
Yep.
So what's next? What's next, Coach? What's next?
Um, Me and my wife, we working on a couple of things right now. I don't want to. I don't want to. She say I talk too much.
Got you, got you,
She just finished
got you,
telling
got you,
me I
got you.
talk too much. So we working on some things right now, man. But everything that we work on, we trying to elevate people, and
That's right.
especially our people, and
That's
especially
right.
letting our people know that, man, you're an entrepreneur. It's
Mm-hmm.
between your ears. You're a boss. You're a
Mm-hmm.
CEO. You just don't
That's right.
you just don't believe it yet. Once you start
That's
believing
right.
it, it's gonna manifest itself. So you know what I'm saying?
That's
That, like right now, I'm getting one of my semis cleaned. It was really dirty, and this young man got his own business. He got to be probably about 28 years old, and he just
right.
detailed my truck inside and out for $500.
Mm,
So
mm.
the vision is there.
That's right.
You just got to go for it. You got to believe. You got to have faith. You got to surround
Yes,
yourself
yes.
around the right people, and and and
That's
and
right.
watch yourself blow up. And
Mm,
stop trying to have this microwave faith and this
talk
microwave
it.
success. It don't work that
Talk it.
way.
Nope.
Look. Let me say this. This is a gym. This is a gym. Every stumbling block, every trial, and every tribulation is designed to make you quit and stop you on your journey. But
Mm,
breakthrough is
mm.
right behind that stumbling block and that trial. Most people
That's right.
quit when they run into the first stumbling block or the second stumbling block or maybe the third stumbling block. And all God is
Right.
trying to do is say, just keep on going. You don't know what I got
Mm,
for you. It's on the other side. Just keep pushing. Don't give up. Don't give
that's
up. That's
that's a
why the
fact.
microwave success thing, it don't apply here. It doesn't apply here.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You got to stay down. You got to keep
Right.
grinding, and consistency is the key thing. Just be consistent.
Mm, mm,
Just
mm.
be consistent.
That's right. So, Coach, what's this? What's your daily routine like? Like, I know for me, I'm an early riser. I hit the gym for my mental health. I'm usually in the office, literally starting work by 7 a.m. I try to give myself 2 hours before the office opens at 9, so I could be ahead of my day, understanding that throughout the day, just so much shit is gonna get thrown at me. And but I have a very hard 5 p.m. stop. After 5 o'clock, I don't really want to be bothered by nobody. That's my time to be a father. That's my time to be a husband. That's my time to be a son, a friend, and everything else. And so through my routine and my habits, I've built it's helped me get to where I'm at because I'm consistent. I live that every single day. It don't matter. And I also know other successful people are the same. They just have consistent habits that they do every day. What's your
Wow.
days look like?
Well, first of all, you said your day stops at 5. normally my day stops around between 3 and 4. Normally after three or
Got you.
four, I don't want to be bothered. You know what I'm saying? That's my
Talk
time at
about
the
it.
house.
Talk about it.
I'm trying to
That's
get
right.
where you're at on waking up on the and going straight to work out, but I ain't there yet. I ain't there yet. But I will say that I wake up between 5 and 6 in the morning. I go to my office.
hmm
I get me some coffee. Um, uh,
hmm
I don't turn on it after I drink my coffee because I was taught you don't want to pray if you're not awake because you're not giving God or higher
Mm.
power your true attention. So I don't try
Yo,
to
that's a
pray.
gem.
I don't try to pray droggy like I'm still in a sleep. So I get my coffee, wake myself up, then I get on my knees and I pray, and then
Mm.
I sit for about 30 minutes to an hour of just quiet.
That's
And
right.
then
That's
I
right.
turn on my ESPN. I'm a sports junkie. I turn on my
Let's get it.
ESPN and I'm doing my little paperwork. I'm making my little phone calls. And normally
Yep.
around about between 11 and 12, I got some running around to do. So I hop in my
hmm
vehicle, do some running around. And normally the running around, I'm back home between 1 and 3 o'clock. But I'll leave the house
Gotcha.
around about 11:30, 12:30, and I'm back between an hour and a half to 2 hours, and my day is over with.
Mm. Yo, if y'all didn't peep that, one of the biggest things, well, one, I just got a new jewel because I actually got to get better at that, coach, because I actually wake up and the first thing I do is usually I pray and then I meditate. But I love what you just said about not being droggy and making sure you're up. And so I'm actually gonna play around with my routine a little bit and do things a little bit different so that way I could give my higher power the best form of me when I wake up. I
Absolutely.
think that's a very great jewel. And then also I love the fact that you take that time for your mental health and that meditation piece. Essentially, that 30 minutes of quietness. That's what people don't understand. There's so much noise in the world between social media, TV, movies, what's going on in your life, work, that things come at us so quickly. A lot of times we don't have enough time to process everything. But if you could make time when it's just silence and just being your thoughts, that's oftentimes when you get some of the best ideas. That's oftentimes when you could problem solve and get through things. And so I think it's important for everybody to make that sort of time and make sure your mental health is in a good space. What do you do for your
Absolutely.
mental health,
Absolutely.
coach?
Um, um, I stay away from negative energy. I don't respond to negative
Mm.
energy. Even
Mm-hmm.
you got social media bullies. They'll make a comment or
Ooh,
something slick. I just hit the delete button. I don't even respond.
talk
It was one
that.
time that I used to see the social media bullies, and I would respond back to
mm-hmm.
them, and I learned that all that's doing is getting me more upset. It's taking me to a place
Mm-hmm.
that I don't want to go. So I stay away from
Mm-hmm.
that. Matter of fact, my wife taught me that. My wife taught me that.
Mm.
My wife
Mm.
taught me like, look,
That's what's up.
don't bring that energy around me. If you in a
Mm.
don't bring that. So she's taught me even even if I'm in a bad place, push through it. Push
Talk about
through
it.
it
That's right.
and
That's
I
right.
stay away from negative energy and negative people. As soon as you start getting negative, I get somewhere. I go somewhere. I'm gone.
Gotta go. Gotta go. Not around me. Nah, I love
Mm,
it. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I know you busy. I really appreciate you, Coach, making some time. For y'all who can't see this, he is out. He's been grinding. He's been in the car. He picking up his vehicle, but he still made some time for us. I could vouch for the fact that him and his wife is definitely a power couple, and they're not gatekeepers. A true story. I reached out to Coach and his wife probably about 4 months ago, and they were on the show. And I was like, "Yo, how you get on that show?" He was like, "Yo, honestly, it's through our network, and we got plugged in with a business coach." I was like, "Yo, plug me in." Not no problem. He reached very next day, plugging me in, told me to explore it. And so I could vouch for the fact that this brother right here shares knowledge. He shares his network. His wife is a powerhouse in herself. I had the opportunity to meet her as well. And so everything this brother's saying, he's living. And so, with that being said, Coach, just let them know where they could find you out. Give them your socials, your website, wherever they could find you. And again, I just really, really, really appreciate you making some time today to chop it up with us.
Absolutely, brother. We hey, ever since we met and we've been on stage together, that's gonna be for a lifetime. So the energy was there,
Talking.
everything. All three
Yep.
of us was on the stage, so the energy is there. You can find me on
Fact.
my website at boxtruckcoach.com. That's boxtruckcoach.com. That's my website, and you can find me on Instagram, Sheldon SHELDON underscore box truck coach. Sheldon underscore box truck coach. I got 121,000 followers on Instagram.
Mm, mm,
We done been on TV. We done been on God Made Millionaires. We done been on
mm.
Social Proof Podcast. We done been on Ash Cash
So,
the Vote Podcast. We done been on Truck and Hustle
yes.
Podcast. And believe it or
Uh,
not, Trent, I just got a phone call. I'm gonna have to uh, um, text him. I got a call. I don't know how his name crossed his desk, but I got a phone call from a TV producer that's trying to do
mm.
a reality show called From the Pen to the Penthouse. So
Oh,
yeah, so
okay.
y'all pray for me. If y'all praying people, y'all pray that I get that
Yes, sir.
opportunity, you know. So, but yeah, you can find me on Instagram, man, and I go live all the time, and we do things. And always remember this. Always remember this. Seed time harvest. A
Mm,
seed can only be reproduced by its own kind. If you
mm.
sow a seed of hate, you're gonna reap a harvest of hate. You sow
Talking.
a seed of love, you're gonna reap a harvest of
Mm-hmm.
love. In the book of
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs, it says, if you want a friend, you must show yourself friendly.
Mm,
So always remember everything that you do is seed time harvest. And it can be a good seed or it can be a bad seed. A seed can only be
mm,
reproduced by its own kind. You can't plant a apple seed and get an orange.
mm, mm,
So if you round
mm.
here giving out negative energy, you round here sowing seeds of negative stuff, you're gonna reap a harvest of negative stuff. If you round here
That's
sowing
right.
seeds of positive energy, sharing information.
Mm-hmm. Mm, mm. Fire, fire. We appreciate you, Coach. Thank you again for tuning in today to this episode of Prison Bosses with our special guest, Coach Sheldon. For all of my people locked up in New York State docks, um, Jail to Jobs program. If you are in the Jail to Jobs program and you're doing trucking, tap in with the coach. The coach could teach you a lot. You're already making that path into trucking. This brother right here could help turn you into a millionaire. So for everybody, go ahead. That's right. That's right. Mm, that's right. No CDL. That's fire. That's fire. No, no, that's see, y'all heard it there first. So tap in with the coach. Leave your comments, your thoughts in the comments. And until the next episode, like always, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you here with us, and we appreciate that. So thank you. Ah, let's go. Thank you, coach. All right.